Hello everyone, welcome. Take off my shoes. It's cold. Oh, very cold. Very cold, but very grounding. Yikes. Okay, so today I finished getting my Breathwork certification, and the last part of my class is that I need to make a video teaching people how to perform breathwork exercise, somatic breathwork exercise. So a little bit about my background. My name is Abdel Morshad. I go by the artist name Habit 701. I originally started doing breathwork exercise practice when I lived in Barcelona about 6 or 7 years ago. I got started. It was about year 2. I lived in Barcelona for about 4 years, so it was about year 2 going into it that I reluctantly joined a friend to go do breathwork exercise. And I remember at the time I was just like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I remember I had a million things on my plate. I felt like I had to get all this work done, and then something told me to just say yes. Like, stop freaking saying no. Say yes. Say yes to this. This is something that you should do. And I did it. Everything in my head was like, no, we got to get this shit done, this work done. And then yeah, it was a very liberating experience. I'm so glad that I did it, because breathwork exercise changed my life. I know a lot of people are kind of scared of it. You know, I offer the courses to people all the time, and they're just like, oh. In this case, if I do the video, then you can just do it on your own. You know, we could still do sessions, but this is just something that you can do on your own. So here's how it works. So we're regulating our breathing. We're doing pattern breath work. Before we get started, I gotta tell you about all the pre-existing conditions that you might have that you might want to avoid doing breath work if you have any of these issues. Not all of them are issues. Obviously, being pregnant is not an issue. If you're gonna have a baby, so you're probably already taken Lamaze, and Lamaze is very similar. You're breathing, you're learning how to breathe and how to regulate your breathing and how to push. If you've got like hernia, a serious injury of some kind, you know, a history of seizures or anything like that, or, you know, you've got chronic asthma, I would refrain from doing breath work. And I'm just saying that as a precaution. Like, everyone has their own abilities and their own way of doing things. So just figure out if it's right for you. If you don't know if it's right for you, I would check with a medical professional, a doctor. Obviously, I am not a doctor. Breathwork does have healing properties to it. You can focus the energy on things that you want to heal in your body. Personally, I use it as a way to release a lot of the tension in my body, a lot of the trauma that I store in my muscles, which we all do. We all store a bit of tension and you know, anger and distress in our muscles and our bones, in our body, and that's why we need, you know, massages, we need chiropractors, we need a lot of different things. But the one thing that I think we forget sometimes is to just breathe. That's right. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just breathing. You can focus that energy on specific places where you may have an injury, or maybe there's something that you specifically want to heal. It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be mental. That's where breathwork exercise helps out. So, the first step is teaching you how to breathe. You are not breathing into your lungs. You are breathing into your diaphragm, your gut, your stomach. And I don't really have that much fat to squeeze, but you know, you get the idea. Basically, we're doing a rhythmic pattern, and there's different rhythmic patterns that we can do, but the basic one that I'm going to teach you right now, that I first learned when I started, was the 4-2 breath. You're going to inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, and then you're going to release the breath 2 seconds. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale for 1, 2. Get it? Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale for 1, 2. We're breathing in through our nose, and we're exhaling out of our mouth. We're letting everything out of the mouth. There's a couple ways you can do this. My teacher taught me that it's important you know, to be free with it, to play with it, and to make noises. So when you're releasing that breath, you can really exaggerate it and get it out. And I think this helps with a lot of people, especially if you're carrying tension. You can hear it in your voice. So when you you might sound funny, you might look ridiculous, but you should do it anyway. Basically, when we're doing that, you know, like I noticed when I first started doing breath work, my voice would crack. I'd be like, ah, you know, because I was holding on to so much tension and trauma and angst and anxiety and all this stuff and heartbreak and oh my God, like I was storing it in my body, and then when I'd release my breath, I could hear it. And then as I became more controlled with my breathing, that became less and less. You know, I still release. A lot of things are gonna happen when you're doing this kind of breathwork exercise. You're gonna feel a lot of different things. I'm not gonna tell you what your feeling is gonna be like. You're gonna figure that all out on your own. What I'm gonna say is that my personal experience is that it's like manufacturing your own drugs. That's essentially what this is, just manufacturing your own drugs. Okay, I'm supposed to do a 15-minute video. We're already in 7 minutes of me trying to explain this thing. I should have been 5 minutes, but hey, who's counting? Let's get into it. We're in beautiful Iceland, in Diamond Beach. It is black sand beach for drama. And then there's also, you know, these beautiful glaciers and ice that come out from the glacier lagoon over there. They get pushed out into the ocean, and then the ocean pushes them back onto the shore right here. So they break off of that glacier over there and they come down here to rest, which is pretty cool. And that's what we're doing right now. So, and generally these exercises, they can go from anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. I know some people who do an hour. I don't personally do an hour. I probably do about 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes most. So basically, let's break down the structure. So you're gonna start off, you're gonna breathe in the 4, release for the 2, right? And you're gonna keep doing that over and over and over and over again. And essentially what you're doing is you're pulling up all that air into your brain, all that oxygen. You're flooding the zone with oxygen. And then we get to a point where we inhale as much air as we can into our diaphragm. Remember, we're not breathing into our lungs, we're breathing into our stomach. So you're gonna breathe all that air into your stomach, and you're gonna hold it for about 30 seconds, and then you're just gonna release all the air that's in your breath, and then you're gonna hold your breath without any air at all. No air in your lungs, you're just gonna stay like that. And generally we try to stay like that for about a minute. Now, if you can't last for a minute, it's fine. You're gonna get all kinds of alarm bells in your head telling you that you need to breathe, that you have to survive in some way, that you have to take a breath, because if you don't, you're gonna fucking die. And that's okay. You're gonna blow past all those red lights and all those alarms, and you're gonna keep going. And you're gonna get to a point where your head is gonna like snap, and you're gonna say, actually, I really don't need to breathe. So when you're in that panic mode and your body is screaming at you to breathe, try to push past it as best as you can. If you cannot push past it, you absolutely need to take a breath. It is okay. So in that minute, let's say you're down to 20 seconds or 30 seconds and you can't hold anymore. What you're gonna do is, into your stomach, you're gonna breathe in air and then immediately release it. All the air that you can. Release it and then hold the breath again. And I figured out that by doing that, I actually get way bigger of a trip than before. Just to be candid with you, listen, I'm not like advocating drugs or anything like that. I'm actually sober now, almost a year. But I've taken acid and I've taken mushrooms before. And I can tell you without a doubt that the feeling that I get when I do breath work is like being on acid or being on mushrooms, but like a million times better. There's like, I've never had an experience that was bad or a bad trip. And of course, if you have a good teacher that can help guide you through the meditation, then better, because, and it's the same thing if you were taking mushrooms. You would be better off with someone who is knowledgeable and reasonable and can take care of you during those times and kind of curate a good trip for you. So that's the same thing that we're doing when we do breathwork exercises, that we're curating a trip for you. You know, we're curating a destination and a place to go. So with that said, the way Next thing you're gonna do is you wanna set yourself up. You can sit down like I am now. You can be cross-legged if you want, but the most effective way of doing this exercise is by lying down. You know, get yourself comfortable, put a pillow behind your head if you need to. I wouldn't recommend a pillow because it kind of sometimes gets you a little bit awkward. So no pillow, just, if it is a pillow, just flat. Something flat, could be a piece of cloth, something to keep your head comfortable. But you're gonna lie down. If you have a yoga mat, you know, or a towel, beach towel, lie down, and you're gonna begin the breathwork exercise. For all intents and purposes, I'm gonna do the breathwork exercise with you guys sitting. You're gonna follow me, and I'm gonna do my best to guide you. I'm so over this. So it's 12 minutes in and I'm like, I'm done. Okay, so we're gonna start off, I think for about maybe 5 minutes of just breathing, maybe less than that, maybe 4, 3. When I feel like it, I'll tell you. So just follow my instructions. When I tell you to hold your breath, hold your breath. If I tell you anything else, just do as instructed. I will, during those times, I'm not gonna be holding my breath, I'm just gonna be guiding you through it. So, you ready? Let's get started. One, two, three, four. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Keep that rhythm going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Keep that rhythm going. Keep it going. Keep breathing in that rhythm. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Even after I've stopped counting, keep breathing, keep breathing. Keep that rhythm going, keep that rhythm going. On the count of 3, we're going to hold our breaths. 1, 2, 3. Taking all the air you can, taking all the air. Hold for 30 seconds. Release. All the air. Get it all out. Hold. now a little bit faster. Now breathe in. Hold. 30 seconds. Let it all out. Not one drop. Breathe in and release. Well, I hope that felt as good for you as it did for me.